Right. And on Dogma, today we'll be looking at God's way of equilibrium. Based on our discussion on equilibrium, there are certain thoughts that I would like to put across. Number one, we tend to ask ourselves, why is it that there is too much suffering in this world and some are celebrating? Others are suffering, others are celebrating, others are happy, others are upset. All those things, they look as if things are not in the balance, and we tend to ask ourselves questions: is God really a God of equality? Again, for instance, you get married, have children, and so on and so forth, and then one of your child maybe runs into something that you would not even imagine. He dies at a very premature age. Your son maybe was a very good boy, very good person, very good child, no fault in him, but he just leaves too early. Again, good aspirations. You send your child to school. Very good person. The moment he just gets his degree, 2 days after graduation, you just hear that he's no more. Very good person again. Question again, is there really equilibrium in this world? Why is it that there are poor people and we have the rich? And why is it that the rich oppress the poor? Is God really fair? Now, shall we learn God's way of equilibrium? First and foremost, what is equilibrium? The scholar from the dictionary picked out said equality of weight or force, an equipoise or state of rest produced by the mutual counteraction of two or more forces. So, equilibrium, in other words, we're trying to say something that is in a perfect state of balance, meaning two different concepts seated on a scale and are well balanced. Or even, let me just show you on the first page so that you see what we're trying to discuss. Now, look at the equilibrium. You see the stones are placed well and they are equally balanced, and there's no staggering. Now, is God a God of equilibrium? Is he equal as the text claims? Now, one thing I want us to put into consideration, let's read the text. For none of us liveth unto himself, and no man dieth unto himself. For none of us liveth unto himself, and no man dieth unto himself. So meaning, we don't live a life of our own. We don't live for our own. A life that we live is a selfless life. That is what life is supposed to be. Now, where does the equilibrium fall in here? Let's see. Look at this. Things get messed up. Things get messed up. The devil rebels against God, and all those things occur. And here's what happens. God sends his only begotten Son to sacrifice his only begotten Son for things he did not do, but we did. He came to die that there may be equilibrium, in the sense that even the richest of the richest can have an opportunity to salvation. Even the sinner of sinners can have an opportunity to salvation. And the person who is on top of his game in terms of iniquity and wickedness can have an opportunity so that balance may come to the universe. God's way of equilibrium. A story has been told of somebody who had a son, but when the son was sick, the doctor said, "Your son is brain dead." And all they could do was to donate his organs. So, for you, my fellow friends, the reality of life is that for balance to be achieved, we need to live a selfless life, a life of sacrifice. In other words, a life of love. We have to put ourselves on the line for others. The life that you live, you're not living it alone. It's not about you. It's about what you are for others. Who you are for others. You put yourself on the line for others. That is a life of equilibrium. So that's why you find that others die, others live. Why? For their work is done. It is up to somebody else to take the torch forward. For a nation may rise and a nation may fall. Another nation will rise to take up the leadership role. The same concept of equilibrium applies in the world of leadership. For no man can be just leading an organization for several years. Definitely a time will expire. When his time expires, he should have done all that is necessary. Therefore, we don't live to ourselves. We are not our own. We owe our lives to somebody. And that somebody who we owe our lives to sacrificed for us. So he requires the same of us. And that somebody, Jesus. For he lived a selfless life. He put himself on the line in order that equilibrium may be achieved, in order that balance may be achieved. So in this short space of time, you gotta do what you gotta do. You don't live to yourselves. You do things anyhow. Let me give you a hint. Let me give you a bit of insight. What we do, what we say influences others either for good or bad. The Apostle Paul reminds us, for none of us liveth unto himself, and no man dieth unto himself. Your death could be an inspiration to somebody. Look at the faith of the pioneers who strived so hard to defend Christianity, who strived so hard that the manuscripts of the Bible be available till today. They put their lives on the line in order for equilibrium to be achieved, in order for a balance in the universe to be achieved. Look at what happened. As they died, more rose up. As they died, more rose up. It is more like their death was an inspiration. But believe me, it was what it was. Their death was an inspiration. I'm urging that we live a life of self-sacrifice. A life of sacrifice. Let us not be selfish. Let us not be selfish. Let us live a selfless life. Your death could be an inspiration, or it may be even worse. Your death could be a discouragement to others. Your death could be a curse to others. You don't die unto yourself. As you leave the earth, you leave a large number of influences. Anyway, I believe all is clear. All I live for you are these few words. God's aim is for all to be equal. Amen. And amen again.